the Trump administration trying to exact revenge on enemies, perceived and real, mostly perceived, of course.
Manufacturing a scandal that targets Trump's political enemies.
The president claims without evidence that the Obama White House was trying to undermine him and his former national security advisor.
The president and his allies are taking what is a relatively routine intelligence matter and whipping it up into this conspiracy theory.
Okay, well, after covering the Russia collusion theory for, 3 years? Many in the media now downplaying the Michael Flynn unmasking revelations. Here to discuss, we've got the senior writer at the Heritage Foundation, Kelsey Bolar, screen right, and media reporter for The Hill, Joe Concha, joins me 4 blocks from, he's in his remote location, 4 blocks from my remote location. Joe and Kelsey, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for giving away my undisclosed location, Steve. Appreciate it.
Okay, I've got Wikipedia. I know where you live. Kelsey, let's start with this. Why has there been such limited coverage of the Flynn unmasking when this is what the President of the United States has referred to as the biggest political scandal in the history of the United States of America?
Well, the media is suddenly claiming that it's impossible to cover 2 stories at one time. Of course, they can and should be covering any and all coronavirus news, but they also should be covering the unmasking scandal of Michael Flynn after spending 3 years reporting on this day in and day out, sending us breaking news alerts, having Adam Schiff on TV every day who was promising that there was evidence of Trump-Russia collusion. It's completely hypocritical. It shows the deeper agenda going on here. And I can't help but point out the Washington Post and the New York Times won Pulitzer Prizes for their coverage, their, quote, deeply sourced and relentless coverage of the Trump-Russia collusion conspiracy theory. I'll give them that they covered it relentlessly, but it was not deeply sourced. We now know the source of that intelligence was an illegal leak to the Washington Post. And now they conveniently don't want to cover the real scandal that it appears we're learning about involving the Obama administration.
All right. And, of course, the president has made it very clear those people should give their awards back, he says. But since you brought up the fact, Kelsey, that for 3 years we heard the drumbeat of Russia collusion, Adam Schiff says he's got evidence of it. And yet it has now been proven, according to interviews with every official in the administration, they couldn't find any of that stuff. Nonetheless, the media has been touting this. Joe, I'm going to play this and then get your reaction after this.
We do know this. The Russians offered help. The campaign accepted help.
Adam Schiff, the top Democrat, saying there is significant evidence of collusion.
One of the things we heard from Adam Schiff.
We just heard it from Adam Schiff.
We heard from Adam Schiff.
We heard from Adam Schiff.
The top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee is warning today that there is already evidence that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia.
And, Joe, Concha, the problem is because those networks and reporters were so in on that narrative, Russia collusion, Adam Schiff has evidence. Fast forward to today, and it's like, okay, now we know there was no collusion, at least evidence of that was presented to the various committees, and they invested in that story that simply was not true.
You could say, Steve, that Adam Schiff is the Michael Avenatti of lawmakers. In other words, he was on cable news more than any lawmaker in Congress. He got a free stage to say whatever he wanted to, very rarely challenged, and never asked for actual evidence when he said he had evidence. And look, the bottom line is the old mantra in media is to speak truth to power without fear or favor to party. And I'm not seeing that here, and it's obvious for the reasons why. I see James Clapper on CNN on Wednesday, for instance, and you could field, by the way, an entire baseball team of ex-Obama intelligence officials that now work for CNN, including Andy McCabe, who lied to the FBI and was fired for it, and instead of he being sent off never to be spoken on a national stage again, he gets hired by the network to talk about ethics in law enforcement, which is really quite a remarkable thing. But here's the question that needs to be asked, Steve. Okay, if you're going to say that unmasking is routine, as Clapper said, then why isn't anybody asking, okay, how did it get leaked to the Washington Post exactly? That's sensitive information because at last check, Steve, that is a felony. And look, James Comey admitted in open testimony, Senate Intelligence Committee, May 2017, that he leaked to the media. He said he was proud of it because he wanted to prompt a special counsel into the Russia investigation. So this is something that ex-intelligence officials continually did, leaking to the media. And why do you do that? It's to push a narrative, a nefarious one, and it's to take intelligence and use it as a political weapon. And that is something that we should be asking about instead of talking about how this story isn't a story at all. It's a huge story and deserves a heck of a lot more attention than it's getting, Steve.
Well, I was reading this morning, Joe and Kelsey, that during the interview with Clapper over on another network, he was asked if he had leaked, and then mysteriously the video went dead. But then again, when we operate from our living rooms, as we all are right now, sometimes the video is unreliable. So who knows?
Or basement,
all right,
Steve.
Joe and Kelsey, thank you very much for joining us live from your remote locations.
Thank you.